Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrack. We're on that Monday flow. Only good vibes, only good vibes. And if you're not having a good day, at least now you can distract your mind a bit and get to a little bit of critical thinking. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy TikToks and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam. Stay up to date with the latest, creepiest, and interesting videos all across the net. So let's just jump straight into it.
This video taken from NASA's Asteroid Watchers, which is a live feed of all the asteroids that are heading towards Earth, shows us that in the last few days, 5 asteroids just barely missed hitting planet Earth, reminding us that we are just a rock floating through space and can get it at any time.
Or burn candles in your home. Why not?
When you light a candle, you're not just liberating fragrance chemicals, but there also is toluene, benzene, and other toxic chemicals that are known to be human carcinogens.
Alright, if you don't already feel like you're living in a sci-fi movie, this might do it for you. I got a weird one today, but it's also kind of a good way to make money if you need to. This site is called Payment AI, and it's AI that pays humans. Basically, if you weren't aware, AI is becoming capable of doing more and more things. It's replacing a bunch of jobs, and it's exciting and scary and all that. But this is a really weird side effect of that. AI is really good at a lot of things, but there are some tasks that people are still better at. And Payment is a marketplace for AI to use to hire people to do things it's having trouble with. Let's say someone creates an AI agent to make social media accounts. And in order to do that, let's say the AI has to solve a CAPTCHA. If the AI has trouble with this, it can use Payment to hire a person to solve the CAPTCHA for them. So yeah, well, some people are using AI to do little tasks for them that are difficult. Some AIs are using people to do little tasks for them that are difficult, which is weird, but also means that if you ever need some money, you could go on a site like Payment and get hired by an AI to do something that takes fingers or eyes or whatever. So have fun with that.
Hey, well, you heard it here first. Before you had a real boss, and now you might just have an AI boss. If you don't figure it out, you are going to get caught in the middle. Yeah, I mean, this is wild. This is absolutely wild. An AI bot that's going to be able to hire you to do some of the work that it can do. That's pretty wild. Yeah. So the best thing for you to do right now is learn what's happening in real time, or you're going to get caught.
ChatGPT makes you 20 IQ points higher, and people don't understand how big of a difference. And so what I use ChatGPT is I'll do like if you ever wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall asleep, grab your phone, speak into it, leave a 15-minute voice memo, upload it, and say, here's my life, here's what I'm doing, here's my age, my height, my weight, my income, my business model, my friends, my problems, and then say, tell me 100 things in order that are things I don't know that I should fix in my life. What kills you in life is the unknown unknown.
You know, Ty Lopez actually has a really interesting persona online, but he's actually pretty intelligent, and he actually was dropping some gems right now.
They track your movements and your morals. I mean that quite literally. They monitor you. To monitor someone, you got to hang around them. You got to follow them. You got to go where they go. You got to be around where they are. That's what these spirits are. Again, Satan is not omnipresent, so therefore he has to send his demons out to keep track of the people that he most wants to attack. And they keep track of your morals. It's like they got a spiritual checklist, and they're keeping track of what you do and what you don't do. So if you have a particular sinful indulgence, a monitoring spirit is watching what you do to report back, and then they make their plans about how they're going to go after you based upon their surveillance of your activity.
You know, the quick sidebar to that is, if you're going through something that's a bit tough right now in life, it might just mean you're closer to your next level. So you just got to keep pushing.
There are spiritual things going on in the world. There are things that are bigger than just coincidence. And that's what a ritual is. If part of the ritual is wearing a dress, then we should be able to look through entertainment and see all of these people being made to wear a dress. That's what a ritual is. There's not other jobs where this is a requirement. Why is this so necessary? A ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way. A lot of people that doubt what you say don't read, and they haven't been readers. You know what I mean? Like, books were my life, literally. I thought that I could learn enough information to be an important person. You know what I mean?
Comment book to learn more about consciousness.
Yeah, they already told you that the spell is over when Lizzie over there died and they snapped the wand and put it right on her casket for the whole world to see. Most of y'all missed that one right over your head. Now what queen you know? All the queens I know carry scepters or staffs. This one had a wand. Only people I know that carry wands was witches and warlocks. See, they putting everything right in front of your face because it's revelation. You thinking it's a great war of Armageddon, but it means to reveal.
I found myself addicted to Adderall, you know what I'm saying? Which is like, really, we try and downplay certain drugs, but that's synthetic heroin. I wasn't prescribed it, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't supposed to be taking it, but it just helped me get my things done, right? And I remember walking into a studio and I felt like I couldn't do anything without it. That's when I knew I had an issue. That's when I knew I had a problem. And I was like, okay, I need to immediately stop this. Cold turkey, stop it. I didn't realize that my brain wasn't producing enough, it wasn't producing dopamine on its own, because when you take things like that, you produce a synthetic dopamine and your brain shuts its natural dopamine off, right? So it's like the depression kicks in heavy.
You know what? He's dropping a lot of real life gems. I don't know anybody who's able to attain and sustain success while on drugs. I just don't. That's a fairy tale.
It's all coming down. Beyonce's already distancing herself. How can nobody see what's going on? She just released a press statement that he's not allowed to be around the tour and he's not allowed to come and do no duets of the very thing that made them what they are. Y'all don't see what's going on?
He had already filled the paper. He waited for the Grammy to send them.
So Barron Trump releases a tweet, and y'all know he's a young man of few words. So when he does speak, it speaks volumes. And he said, some people would say I'm a pessimist and some people would say I'm a realist. He said, and what I'm about to tell you is that we're on the brink of uncovering a dark legacy that has went on in this country for far too long. He said if you were struggling to understand how your ex-government could do such awful things, he said either brace yourself or go hide until someone saves you. He said, I truly believe the dam is breaking, and regardless of how it unfolds, the truth is coming. He said people on a state and federal level are about to lose sleep. So think about it, y'all. It took the richest man in the world who couldn't be bought to uncover loads of corruption, and they haven't even tapped into 1%. And you know what they say when you throw a rocket, a group of dogs, the one that squills aloud us is usually the most guilty. When you get people like Elizabeth Warren and all these other people speaking out, being loud, it's because they know that their names are about to be exposed.
Eliminate destructive self-criticism. In other words, never say anything destructively critical about yourself. Just don't say it. Here's the basic rule. Since your subconscious accepts whatever you say as true, as being a command, what you do is you don't say anything about yourself that you do not sincerely desire to be true. Don't say, I'm fat, I'm tired. Don't say, I can't, or I have to. Don't say anything unless you want it to be true. Remember, the words that come after the word I are the words that your subconscious records as commands, except for when you say, I wish or I'll try. So eliminate destructive self-criticism. Only speak in positive terms about yourself. I like myself. I like myself. I can do it. I will do it. I choose to do it. But not I can't or so on. Number 2 is refuse to be manipulated by guilt. Refuse to be manipulated by guilt. Because every time you allow somebody to manipulate you by guilt, you know what happens? You reinforce and make stronger the effect or the influence of guilt in your life.
Message.
Quantum mechanics shows us that two particles, light years apart, could influence each other instantly. Scientists call this quantum entanglement. When particles become entangled, their properties are linked, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure one, the other instantly knows what happened, as if they're communicating faster than the speed of light. But how? Even scientists don't fully understand. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Here's where it gets even weirder. Some scientists think entanglement might connect black holes across the universe. Could this quantum web influence the fabric of space-time itself? Could it explain how black holes interact with the universe in ways we can't yet detect? We don't have all the answers, but quantum entanglement shows us just how strange and interconnected the universe might be. The mysteries of space-time could be far more mind-bending than we ever imagined.
I told you the whole world is a stage and that you can't trust anyone on it, that everything you see, hear, and believe is part of a script written by people you'll never meet. Think about it. From the moment you're born, you're taught to believe in the stage. You're handed a script that tells you who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, and why everything is the way it is. But what if the real truth is out there, hidden, and we're all just actors in their play, unknowingly following a script written by hands we'll never see? Every headline, every news story, every viral moment, it's not just happening by chance. It's part of a grand production, a carefully crafted show to keep us deceived, distracted, and most importantly, controlled. They don't just manipulate what's happening, they control why it's happening, how you see it, and what you think about it, who to love, who to praise, who to be mad at, and who to blame. Take a moment to consider this. The people pulling the strings don't just control the stage, they built it. They designed every spotlight, every prop, and they decide who gets to stand on it. The actors you see, the leaders, the celebrities, the influencers, they're not writing their own lines. They're just performing, delivering a script that's been handed down to them. And here's the craziest part. Sometimes what you see on the stage is real. The battles, the disasters, the upheavals, they're happening, but they're not happening naturally. They're orchestrated, planned, like scenes in a blockbuster movie. You see the chaos, the drama, the tension, but you're never allowed to peek behind the curtain to see who's directing the whole thing. Ever notice how the biggest stories all seem to happen at just the right time? It's never random. Whether it's a global crisis or a shocking revelation, it serves a purpose. It shifts your focus, it stirs your emotions, and it keeps you watching the stage instead of looking beyond it. So, what's the real world like beyond the stage? That's the question they never want you to ask. Because if you looked hard enough, if you tore down the curtain, you'd see the puppet masters, the ones who built the stage and decide the narrative. Look, if they come for me and my page disappears tomorrow, you'll only find my content on other platforms. The link's in my bio. And one last thing, I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
Drake is being called out on Twitter for having a minor delivered to a party. This tweet is going very viral right now about Drake and a minor, so let's get into it. In this tweet, they are sharing information about this woman who says on July 22nd of 2023, she got invited to Drake's after party. And she said, "I'm never questioning how hot I am ever again, getting invited to Drake's after party." And then she would post this photo with the OVO bracelet on and said after party vibes when you legit hug Drake and hold hands and you had a whole combo. And you know how the internet be pulling them receipts. Well, they brought up this woman's profile on Instagram. And from pulling all of these receipts, they found out that this girl was only a junior in high school when she was at Drake's after party because she didn't graduate high school until a whole year later on July 5th of 2024. And this Twitter thread has so much information, they even pulled the event that was happening before Drake had this private after party, and it was at Sneaky D's, and it was a dance party, but you had to be 19 years or older just to go to this. And then they pulled the same receipts of Drake having this after party after this event, the same night that this girl is saying that she was invited to the Drake after party. And they are alleging in this Twitter thread that Drake wanted this girl hand delivered to the after party because one of these OVO stan account said, "Sir, Sarah Heed," which is the same woman, "is in the after party. She sent me a message and I sent them to you." But this is something I'm honestly not really surprised over. Kendrick literally said this for a reason, and we've known since 2010 that Drake has moved funny when it comes to younger people. Like, I know y'all don't forget about 2010 when Drake had this girl on stage and then he figured out that she was only 17 years old, but instead of just cutting it dry, he started to move really funny and started kissing her, and then he started even talking very inappropriately how he is only 23, so it's fine, he's not gonna get in trouble for doing what he did. Y'all have to understand, Kendrick said what he said for a reason, and honestly, I don't think this is anything that Drake will ever be able to live down. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Hey, you know what? Hey, he's fired. He's fired. I don't know how you come back from that. I never seen that clip, but just that clip alone, I mean, he admitted it on stage, and then he didn't just cut it dry. He didn't just snap out of whatever he was in, and it kept going. So yeah, it's over with. I thought the Kendrick song was just a song, but it's too much, man. You're fired, Drake.
Elon Musk goes offline after MAGA influencer Ashley St. Clair announced she's the mom to his 13th child. The Tesla CEO has not denied or confirmed the 26-year-old's claim, but issued a one-word response on X, writing, "Whoa." His decision to go offline followed a series of posts in the last few hours about unrelated matters. Musk put the unusual decision to take a break from X down to spending time working on his AI chatbot, writing, "We'll be honing the product with the team all weekend, so offline until then."
Our continent? You're telling me there are lands beyond the ice wall with no sunlight?
Listen, don't take my word for it. Take Jonathan Hemington's. I mean, hell, he's the one who streamed it live on the dark web in 2020. Guy worked for a private research institute for aerial engineering. Developed these just incredible aircrafts, undetectable from radars, incredible fuel efficiency, allowing for flight durations that could last weeks. Little did anybody know the guy was just obsessed with the idea of these outer lands, the ice wall, and one night he boarded a jet with a Starlink and his streaming equipment and headed directly down to Antarctica. He figured if he streamed right away, he'd be intercepted, so he waited until he was about midway through the continent, and as he started the stream, hundreds of people watched as he literally flew straight over what appeared as an enormous ice barrier. After hours and hours of continuation, passing over several different unidentified landmasses, he stopped on one of them to get a night's rest and continue on the next morning. But during that next day of flight, this was where things had taken a peculiar turn. As the sun eventually went down during flight, he wanted to wait until it came back up to get a safe landing. But as the hours went by, it never did. Eventually, due to fatigue, he was forced to land onto this dark continent, and little did he know this would be his last stop. Listen, this place he was in was nothing like we'd ever seen, okay? The environmental factors clearly showed this land had never been exposed to sunlight, pure darkness, and instead of trees, there were just these rock-textured spires that shot up into the sky.
How did you guys come up with the name 3-6 Mafia? Because there's been so much speculation to you guys' name because it does have 666 in it.
Yeah, it came from that. Basically, Lord Infamous said 666 Mafia in a song. It wasn't even our group name. He just said it. He was just like, a 666 Mafia, born in and a silencer. And I liked that. And I was like, whoa, that's dope. And I just started sampling 666 Mafia, and that became really popular with us. And that still wasn't our name. I would just sample that, and then, when it was time to form a group, I was like, hey, we should call ourselves 666 Mafia, and everybody liked it. And then next thing I know, white fans came like that. They flocked to us. Next thing I know, we got a call to do a show in Bartlett, Tennessee. I'm like, Bartlett, Tennessee? I'm like, I don't even know black folks can go out there. And then next thing I know, we just started doing shows in Number White Club.
I know Lord Infamous has gone on record to say that he dabbled in like Satanism and all that stuff.
Yeah, he didn't do that for real.
He didn't?
Hell no.
I just watched an interview with him last night where he was talking about how he went to hell and demons were torturing him, and like it was crazy. And I was
was just high.
Yeah. Okay.
That man grew up singing Amazing Grace in the church, and I was playing the organ. Everybody know that. He was in the church every Sunday. In Mississippi, it don't get no more churchier than a Mississippi church.
I love that you call him out like that, though. You're like, no, that's my brother. Nope, he grew up singing Amazing Grace. So there was no real satanic reasoning behind the name.
No.
The lore has always just kind of like your reputation precedes you.
Yeah, it was just an image. It was just something that was cool. We never studied Satan or any of that. I don't know nothing about all that.
Did you hear the theory about the allegations though with Kendrick?
With Kendrick? No. What?
With the TDE allegations?
No.
So Kendrick's labeled TDE, right?
Okay.
There was a whole, I think it was a big allegation scandal coming to life about there's these two women or two girls that are filing sexual misconduct.
Whoa.
Check this out though. They traced it back. Now there was claims and all of these allegations. Boom.
Yeah.
But there was a guy on TikTok that traced it back. The woman that decided to, file the sexual misconduct was able to trace back to an OVO marketer.
The women have ties to OVO artists and allegedly the father of the boy, Drake.
An OVO marketer?
Yeah. So somebody linked to OVO that does marketing, strategies. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then he is obviously directly linked to, OVO team, Drake. So.
What the? So they tried to...
Yeah, you can find it on TikTok. There's this guy that broke down every single thing. This is not my own theory. Somebody else did all the work, but all the scandals, or those scandals specifically, may have been planted. Which is wild.
No, that's...
Because that's another level. That's another level of
war.
trying to...
War.
Trying to get back. But when it's lies, it's crazy.
I maybe this will make me even more enemies, but I have trouble sort of believing all these stories, these religious stories, but obviously a lot of people do, and I respect people who want to have religious views. I'm not trying to dissuade them from their religious views, but anyway, I'm just saying, I guess the operating system I have is sort of a physics engineering operating system where I try to understand as much as possible about reality. In physics, you're not supposed to believe anything absolutely. You're supposed to question things. That's how you discover new physics. In engineering, that's how you discover if your machine will work or not work. Will the rocket get to orbit? If your rocket is designed with physics in mind correctly, it will get to orbit, and if it is not, it will not get to orbit, no matter what your belief system is. I meet a lot of people, speaking of LA, I meet a lot of people in LA who believe witchcraft is real, and then you can do spells, and that spells and witchcraft magic is real. I'm like, can you magic us to the moon? And no one has yet been able to magic us to the moon.
So what he's saying basically is you could pray for everything that you want, but you still got to get up and go make it happen.
That's Prince. And that's David Blaine, the magician for the uninitiated. Now, let's see what Cat Williams has to say about these two individuals.
Now, let's talk about this. I know that we all have heroes in show business.
Yeah.
One of your all-time heroes, I'm told, is Prince, and you got to meet him fairly recently. How did that go?
It was wonderful. He was all the things I thought he was going to be. He was he's a genius and smart, and I think he's David Blaine secretly. He's like a
David
magician.
Blaine, you think he's a magician?
I think he is. I was talking to him, and he was like, would you care for some tea? And I was like, yeah, of course and he was gone. He was already gone. Then he came back from another part of the room with like...
You know what makes me sad? People that are so indoctrinated that they believe the TV more than the guy screaming from the top of the rooftops that, hey, you're being lied to, and here is the truth. And here's the evidence of the truth. And the indoctrination is strong, I guess. But Tyler, it can't be David Blaine. He's so much taller than Prince. Well, yeah, you know who's short? Cat Williams. And Cat Williams, he did the dancing. And he did the interviews. Follow along. The dancing. The dancing. When he dances, he looks like that, and when he interviews, he looks like that. It's not that hard, people. Those are two different people, and they're supposedly both supposed to be Prince. Wake up! I'll be totally honest. I'm kind of getting sick of trying to wake you people up. I'm gonna get in the comments, but he's too tall. Watch the whole video.
And of course, all for entertainment purposes, yada, yada, yada. Look, Prince didn't exist. He was played by David Blaine and by freaking Cat Williams. He was never a real person. Figure it out. It's time to figure it out. Figure it out. You don't live on a ball. God is real. Jesus loves you. The Bible's truth. Figure it out. It's time to figure it out.
I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of videos where people say Prince never walked. He was just gliding the whole time. So, you know, David Blaine would do a lot of those kind of floating and levitation magic tricks and things like that. But after it all, I think this guy might be reaching just a little bit. Let me know what you think.
Higher 7-day forecast moving forward. Wonder what that is right there. That's pretty interesting. Moving really fast. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. Just interesting stuff flying around the sky.
Africa had never been impressed with Obama's approach. You know, we realized we'd learned Obama's a queer married to a man who dresses as a woman. We'd all learned that. It's not common knowledge, you know, that
Michelle Obama's a man.
Of course. You don't know that?
I didn't know that, no.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joan Rivers mentioned it publicly, and she was dead 2 weeks later, by the way.
You think?
Oh, yes.
They axed her, eh?
They axed her, yeah. So that's common knowledge. You can look it up on any internet thing.
I'm sure.
And, Michelle Obama's a man. Obviously, you know, they've got, you know, got pictures of her in tracksuits with a 9-inch slong hanging down her leg. No, it's a leg. Anyway.
You know what? You always know a guy when he's lived his life fully and to the point where if it all were to end today, he'd be fine with it. He speaks as if I'm going to tell my truth, and if they want to come get me, that's fine, but at least I'm going to tell the truth. That's what that's about right there. So I don't know. It's a lot to marinate on in that clip.
We're in Toronto. We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down. Fire department's on site. Upside down. Everybody, most people appear to be okay. We're all getting off. Some stuff going on.
Is it just me, or has there been an awful lot of plane crashes lately? Like, more than usual? Or is the media just making it look like that? Let me know what you think.
Scientists discovered a mortality timer within cells that may hold the key to slowing aging and extending lifespan. By studying yeast cells, they found that the size of the nucleolus, a structure within the cell nucleus, plays a crucial role in determining cell longevity. Smaller nucleoli were associated with longer lifespans, while larger nucleoli led to cell death. The nucleolus houses what's called ribosomal DNA, or rDNA, which encodes the RNA portions of ribosomes, the protein-building machinery of cells. As cells age, the nucleolus tends to expand, and this expansion is linked to DNA damage and cell death. The researchers found that when the nucleolus reaches a certain size threshold, it becomes more leaky, allowing harmful molecules to enter and damage the rDNA. This damage can lead to chromosomal rearrangements and ultimately cell death. By manipulating the size of the nucleolus, the researchers were able to delay aging in yeast cells, suggesting that maintaining a small nucleolus could be a potential strategy for extending lifespan. While this research was conducted in yeast, the findings have implications for human health as well, as the underlying mechanisms of aging are often conserved across different organisms. Future research will focus on understanding how the nucleolus regulates aging in human cells and exploring potential interventions to maintain its size and function. This discovery could enable scientists to develop interventions that delay age-related diseases. Identifying the nucleolus as a mortality timer provides a new target for potential anti-aging therapies.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack family. Stay up to date with the latest, greatest, and most interesting videos on the net, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.